often when the customer get the quote and we are not there, they misunderstand, because everyone do the same thing. When they get a quote, they like,
What's
they
the
are
price?
like,
Yeah.
what's the price? And oh shit,
Yeah.
that's the price. Oh, that's
It's like
expensive.
good enough, so you gotta be great, and I'ma do whatever it takes. Doing what I love for life, and I'll pay the price, and not stopping even if the shit kills me, even if it kills me.
Welcome to MattGron's Scaling Up Journey, and my name is Mattias, and this is where entrepreneurship runs smack into reality. And typically Svea count mean, but over the last episodes I've been pushing the limits a little bit, trying to get the speed up here. So this is episode 29, and my name is Mattias, aka MattGron, and Svea is on the other side, still in that cabin in Norrland.
Yeah.
So when are you back in Stockholm?
I think one more episode here. Friday. We're going back on the weekend, so we'll have one more with this, and then we're back to Stockholm.
Yeah.
To my bride office. Also bedroom.
Your bride office, but you are, very soon we will actually see your new house.
Exactly.
So, I'm looking forward to it. The viewers, they are looking forward. I mean, the entire internet is looking forward.
Svea. Or I'm gonna take you on a house tour. Yeah. But give us maybe a week before we get all the furniture in. But sometime between the 1st and the 15th.
First, I want to see it kind of a clean house, and then I want to be able to see the entire process during each episode. So, don't do that typical influencer stuff, like trying to show off with some everything is perfect.
No, you should see my recording sometimes. Like, everything is always nice, and I have a pile of clothes on the other side of the camera,
Okay.
And my biggest secret is I usually wear very comfortable pants on my recording, like pajama pants. But Mattias doesn't know. He just sees this.
Yeah, so that's true. I'm at least always at the office, so and I'm not walking to the office in my underpants.
Yeah,
so.
No. I have pajama pants on, not underwear. Come on, I have some dignity.
Okay.
All right, that was an introduction. Welcome to episode 29, Wednesday. And Wednesdays we talk about what Mattias is working on in his business at iGoMoon. Tell us, what are you working on currently?
Yeah, currently I mentioned it before. I think I'm working on the sales process. Now when I'm onboarding our new account manager, Dennis, I also kind of doing a re-onboarding of Henrik.
Why is that?
It's re-onboarding.
Yeah.
It's like when you onboard someone again.
Yeah, but why?
But because just to make sure that we work in the same way, it's very easy, when you're developing your sales process or any process at all, you could end up having the same issue, that people might do different things, even if you have a process and an idea. Everyone should work in the same way. So that's why I'm making sure that it will not happen. And I also want a kind of a collaborating discussion in the onboarding with Dennis. By adding Henrik into the onboarding, he could also share his experiences, and Dennis has a lot of sales experience before he joined us, so I also want him to contribute, because we need to develop our sales process. So we now have a framework, improved. We now have a process, like an improved process, and I thought it could be a good idea maybe to talk about it, how we work. Help me out here, Svea. Maybe ask me things if something is not Clear?
Yes.
Yes. So, like the first phase in our sales process, the first phase is the like the prospecting step, where we today use LinkedIn Navigator, and we also use a specific prospecting tool to be able to prospect on an organizational level, which basically means like we look for specific tech on their website to see if we can, if they use HubSpot today, we could actually, call them and actually introduce ourselves as HubSpot experts.
So you're doing acquisition of potential clients, or how does that work? You just call someone?
Exactly. Yeah, but the tool let us know more about what kind of tech they have on their website, and then we could use a specific in step 2 in our process. We could actually, depending what we know, we can have different approaches. So we use that tool to understand if they have HubSpot tech on their website, and but then we also use LinkedIn Navigator. I also talked about this in an earlier episode, that for us is a huge buying signal if there is a change on the marketing or sales side. Let's say if a new CMO comes in and the company make a decision to invest in that specific role, that also means they will start investing in a tech stack for sales and marketing. And sometimes when, let's say, there is already like a tech stack in place and they are doing stuff, if there a new CMO coming in, then the new CMO will probably change stuff because they want to actually hit growth numbers and stuff. And that's also like a very good buying signals for us. So that's stuff we're trying to understand where we are in the prospecting stage, or we actually not call it prospecting, we call it identifying. The identifying step of the sales process. Step number 1. So when we clearly know how we should contact, we try to get a connect call with them. So that's basically a 15-minute, up to 15 minutes. But I would say we call the prospect trying to actually book a meeting. But sometimes the call also take a more, how should I say, needs analysis. You're trying to understand if there's a good fit, but the goal with the connect call is actually to book a meeting.
Okay.
And we use we heavily use Vidyard in this stage because it's harder and harder to actually reach people and be able to get that phone call. So we use Vidyard to get a more personal approach early in the sales process basically. And we also had a webinar about that before, and together with Janif at Vidyard, and maybe we could link that in the video. So I think it was step 2, right?
Step 2 we're at, yes.
The connect call. And step 3 is actually today the qualify and explore meeting. So basically that's the first sales meeting. We do it online. Every meeting is online today. And not a very huge difference for us now. If you go back a year and now with COVID and the remote work thing, we did a lot of meetings remote before.
Is that because you have a lot of clients also outside of Sweden, or how come?
Yes, definitely. Like 25% of our revenue is from outside of Sweden, from Europe, and we also have some revenue coming in from the States. And
so crazy, this global times where you can have a client on the other side of the world. It's so fun.
Yes, it is. It's super fun, amazing. Okay, so phase 3 in the sales process: qualify and explore, meeting, and basically it's all about trying to understand if the prospect is a perfect fit for us, and it's a 30-minute call, and sometimes it could be that we, at this stage, we are able to, if they, let's say, it's a perfect timing, they really are on the hunt for a like a website migration or a new sales-ready website in HubSpot, or maybe they want onboarding in some of the HubSpot's products around some blowing away. It could be a perfect timing because maybe they bought a HubSpot product and need an onboarding. That's what I'm trying to say. So typical things we could already quote at this stage is onboarding, maybe migrations to HubSpot CMS, or a new sales-ready website, which basically is a new website project. But if the website is of a little bit more, how should I say, outside the standard scope, then we need to do a workshop together with a customer. We call that a discovery workshop, and that open up for step number 4 in the sales process, and the name for that step is actually discover and advise. So sometimes we need to go into the workshop mode. It means maybe 4 to 8 hours workshop, or sometimes we could actually do a more extended sales meeting, let's say 60-90 minutes. But if we need to work like a full workshop for 8 hours, and it's a first time customer, then we don't charge for that workshop if they make a decision to pick us to actually implement the project. But if they don't make a decision in 20 days, we charge for the workshop.
Okay. What do you do in these discovery workshops? Do you teach them how to use the website, or what is that about?
I would say it depends. It's basically 2 different workshops. One workshop is more scope-based, where we try to understand the scope, the project scope, and the other one is more a goal-setting workshop.
Okay.
So the first one is very adapted. Customer needed a website, kind of, and also an integration or something. The other one is more when customer need execution around marketing and sales. So that's when we implement campaigns and sales and enablement stuff. So it's 2 different workshops.
Okay. I think that's a very good idea, what you just said, what you're doing, that you don't charge for it if they decide to go further with you. But if they don't, you charge for it. I think that's very smart.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's. I think it's a little bit important to actually set boundaries. We spoke about that earlier in an episode. It's very I mean, in the early years when I started the company, it was easy to do everything for free. You know, I think also it's important to set the boundaries and show that you are actually charging for your services. I mean, it's very like a thin line, because we are actually in a process now with a couple of potential projects. I would say bigger projects where we have done like step 1, 2, 3, and we have also kind of done the first workshop for 2 hours, not 4 hours, but we did that for free, and we prepared like a day. Like we have probably put in like 18 to 16 hours in preparation, but the project, it's kind of a big project. So, and the customer kind of, they want us to be able to scope the project, and even if they know that it's not 100% scope, they want us to scope it 100%, and then we get stuck. Okay. Does it make sense? Like we trying to, it's a balance. Like we are really trying to make them understand that to be able to scope the project to like 90%, we need to actually invest more time together. And I mean, I think it's, I mean, if the customer doesn't want to pay, let's say, I mean, let's say if you have a 100K euro project and the customer doesn't want to pay like 3,000K for a pre-study, I think that also could be a good signal that, I mean, this project could maybe, there could be a signal that the project will not go so well. Because so I got a little bit sidetracked there, but I think what I'm trying to describe here is actually a huge reason why we also have that free for charge workshop to actually be able to sell. And so I think the scope creep factor is always something you balance when you do client work, and sometimes maybe you need to push the profit margin a little bit to be able to get a long-term profitable relationship. So but that's step number 4 is the discovery and advice stage, and next step is the quote stage. It's when we send the quote, and we never send the quote without actually presenting the quote first. So we have a specific meeting when we present the quote, and in that way we avoid the customer misunderstanding something. And because if the customer misunderstands something, it's kind of impossible to get them back around the table to discuss the quote.
So you basically have a quote and then you break it down together with them and you explain, okay, this is for this is why we charge because of this and this.
Okay. So if you're the customer and you say, hey, okay, it sounds really good, please send me a quote. And then I say, oh, thank you, we would love to work with you. And the process looks like this. So I will prepare a quote, and then we will meet again, and I will present the quote. So I will not send you the quote. We will meet again, and I will present the quote, and then I will send it to you. And in that way, we can make sure and that they will understand and not interpret in a different way. And so like typical before, it could be, I mean, we are not cheap. We are actually charging, I would say, above average definitely for our services, but we are advanced certified in HubSpot, in HubSpot's platform, and we have been working with HubSpot for 5-6 years now. So often when the customer get the quote and we are not there, they misunderstand, because everyone do the same thing. When they get a quote, they like,
what's the price?
What's the price? And oh shit, that's the price. Oh, that's expensive. And then the stakeholder comes along and say, oh, that's expensive. And then the person who actually got the quote, they can't sell the idea further, and they get in like what do you say, insecure, even if they liked us. I mean, so, and then you try to sending them an email and draw them back into the discussion, but I mean,
I know exactly what you mean. It's the same also for me as a photographer. A lot of people just want to know the price, and sometimes they ask 10 different photographers or 10 different web agencies, and then they look, who's the cheapest? I'm gonna go with this one. This is very unfortunate, because the cheapest is not necessarily the best, I think, in no niche.
Yeah, it's true. So and I mean, if someone asks for the price before you have sent the quote, or we have sent the quote, I typically give them, because like we are, some of our services we could give them like a fixed price quote. So that helps also to say like, okay, this cost 200K or 300K, and that could also, in one way, you can get a like first understanding how they react to it. If they say like 200K, oh, that's expensive, oh my god, I mean, then you like, again, that could be a less good fit, because they actually they don't have the budget. So yeah, but that's the quote stage, and then we work to close the deal, and if we win the deal, the customer ends up in the customer success stage, which is basically when we implement the project, and this is also where we have our partner services or retainer services, basically. So the customer, they pick which service level they need help on. So
is that the last step in the process?
That's the last step in the sales process, yes. So if I summarize them, we have the identifies phase, we have the connect call, we have the qualify and explore meeting, which is the first sales meeting, and then we have the discover and advise phase, and then we have the quote phase, and then after we won the deal, we have the customer success stage. So
thank you for that. That was very interesting. I was actually curious how web agencies what's it called, charge, or like how the process is. It's a lot of steps, but I think it's a good process you have there. You've probably tried a lot of things to get there.
And every phase, I mean, like a phase could include more meetings. It depends. I think the sales, like for a customer to go through the entire sales process, it could be up to a 6 months journey.
Okay, before you actually start doing the website, do you mean just a process of like discussing what they want? And
Yes, it could be like 6 to 12 months.
Wow.
But I mean, if we have a perfect timing, as I said in the beginning, let's say a new CMO is coming in, they really want to upgrade a tech stack, and we call them at the right spot, or they contact us, and then we call them basically a hand raiser, but hi, I want to buy something. Then it could be 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa,
long story.
That's a long story, but thank you for that. That was very interesting. And I think that was our Wednesday episode. And
Wednesday episode, the scaling up episode.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and see you in the next one.
Yes. Thanks everyone.
Bye.